I've got a Toro 521 snowblower, model number 3852. I believe this version's a 1987 version. Right now I've got a issue with the impeller. We get a little light in here. When it runs, there's a real loud noise. I suspect its impeller bearing is going out, and the impeller itself is hitting the shroud here, metal on metal contact as it runs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this thing apart, get at that bearing in the impeller and take it apart and probably order a new one and put a new one on. Put any other new parts that it looks like it needs also. So hope you find this helpful. I'm going to start out here by removing the belt shroud here. And after that I'm also going to remove the cover over the bottom of the snowblower itself. Okay, the shroud is held on by a couple of 3/8 inch bolts here, and pop them off. Get the shroud off here. Mess. Now we have access to the belts here. Zip this bad boy up. And we have the this bottom panel is held on by 4 3/8 inch bolts also. We'll pop them off. Underneath it, actually it looks like there's 2 more under here but are actually missing on mine here, so I'm probably going to have to find a couple more bolts when I put this back together. Okay, now what we have here, try to shine some light down in here. So we've got 3 bolts on each side that hold the front snow auger unit on. 3 on each side, they're 1/2 inch, so I'm going to go ahead and pull all 6 of those bolts off and we'll see if we can get this thing apart. The 1/2 inch bolt on the outside here, looks like there's a 1/2 inch nut on the inside. Kind of difficult to get at, but maybe I can break them loose here. Actually not too bad. They're rusty, so I'm lucky. Okay, that side's out. This one holding it up right here. Okay. Okay. Got the bottom part here. Oh. Looks like I've got the chute adjustment here. I gotta loosen up. Pop this off too. Before I can get this fully apart. Okay, and with that, not sure if you can see this, but essentially got the motor apart on his wheels, and the auger unit is detached. So there's one set screw and there's the other. There's 2 square-headed set screws I got to get at. I'm actually able to use a oh gosh, I got a 1/4 inch extension hooked to a 3/8 extension, and it's got a 3/8 inch socket 16 point that seems to get on there. So let's see if I can get back there and get these things loosened. They aren't the easiest thing to get at here. It doesn't really get just enough flex with this setup to get on it. There. That one loose. There we go. Okay, I'll pull them off. Okay, now that I've got the set screws off of the pulley there, the next one part will be try to get this pulley itself off. I'm just going to take a socket and a rubber mallet and just see if I can pop this thing loose. So that pulley is being a little bit of a pain, so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these two screws here out on each side. I'm going to slide the whole auger unit out of there so that I can actually maybe pound that pulley off of there. So let's see how this goes. These are a couple of 1/2 inch screws on each side. There we go. So now this auger unit here is actually loose. So the only thing holding it on seems to be this pulley on the end here, and we'll see if we can pound that thing loose now. Let's try again here. It's coming loose there. Got the pulley off. Amazing. Now I've got this little key here, this piece of metal here that's holding this on. We're going to have to pop that out. From what I understand, it's a little key that we can get something underneath there and pop it loose. I've got a little chisel. I'm going to see if I can get that popped off there without wrecking anything. So here with a chisel, and hopefully I can loosen it up a little bit, but I don't really want to damage the key, so I can get back together here. So I'm going to try to loosen it up and kind of difficult to pop out. It seems to be wedging there. Oh, there, it's coming loose. If you can see that, but it's kind of popping out there a little bit. There it is. Here's what it looks like. Little half moon pin thing here. Okay, now looks like I'm able to just lift the housing off of the auger here. Oops, the washer came off there too. There we go. Alright, and there you have the impeller assembly out of the housing. And now I just got to pop these 3 nuts off there. I don't know if you can see this. I've got the bearing assembly. You can see it's got some pretty bad wear marks there along the front. It looks like the whole spherical outer piece of the bushing must have been spinning in this housing. I don't think it's supposed to do that. It's wore down pretty bad, so I'm going to go ahead and order a new one of these online. I'll see if I can find one for a decent price and get this thing back together. Okay, so I've ordered my new bushing here. It came from ProPartsDirect.net. I ordered new bushing here. It came with the full assembly with the new flanges and everything, so I've got to deal with the old ones. Here it is. I'm going to go ahead and install it here. Now the first thing we want to do is we want to install this thinner flange here with the outer lip facing into the gearbox here. Then we're going to set the bearing unit on here with the wider lip here facing in. Then this new bearing also has a set screw here that we're going to line up with the hole on the flange here. And set that in here. Now we're going to line up the holes. Okay, now I've got the 3 carriage bolts. I'm going to feed in from the back side and line up in the holes. And I'm going to just go ahead and slip these nuts on. And finally I'm going to tighten them down with my 1/2 inch socket here. Okay, now I am cleaning off the shaft of the auger so it's nice and clean, and we can get it put back through the bushing when we replace the auger assembly. And now we'll want to insert the actual auger shaft through the new bushing. I've actually wiped a little bit of grease inside the bushing just to make slipping it through there easier without damaging it. Okay, so I filed the key here that goes into the pulley shaft. Filed down any rough edges that I created when I took it out with the chisel. So got it all smooth. It should pop right back in now. Okay, so now we got the washer on. I was going to tap the key into the shaft slot here with a hammer. Make sure that I got the shaft pushed all the way in here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, now we're going to put the auger pulley on here. First I'm going to get the 2 set screws started in here so we don't have to try to get those started once the pulley's on. It'll be kind of a difficult task. Make sure they aren't in too far. And then line up the key with the slot on the pulley. Give it a little tap, and there we have it. Now mine, the back of the shaft here was about flush with the back of the pulley when I took it apart, so there we go, we should be good to go. Okay, so as you can see, I've flipped the auger assembly back right side up. I'm going to line up the ends of the auger unit here and replace the bolts to hold the auger in. If you can see the 2 set screws back there, finally I'm going to get my socket back in there and tighten down the set screws to hold the pulley in place. Okay, now that we have that taken care of, we'll want to make sure that everything's spinning freely. Auger seems to be stable and spinning freely. Okay, now I brought the engine back over and we're going to bolt up the front auger unit. Found a handy way here. I set the handle on a step ladder here to hold it upright so I can hopefully more easily bolt this together here. Okay, and now we've still got this part in that angle, but now it's probably a good time to just get this auger pulley at least, or auger belt at least around the pulley here. Maybe, there we go. And then when we tip it up, it should be, we don't have to mess with trying to get it on. Uh-oh. Okay, get that started just to hold it. And I've got to reattach the chute crank to the handle. And now we've got to replace the bottom cover. Bolt it on. Okay, I'm going to start up here. One pull. Oh, maybe two. And there you have it. I've showed you how to replace the auger bushing on this Toro 521 snowblower, model 38052, 1987. Hopefully you found this helpful. Also check out my video on replacing the traction drive wheel, friction wheel that's wore out. Thanks for watching.